and still use contraception and be a good person. Well, this will offend the Roman Catholics who are watching this. Of course, the Roman Catholic Church sets itself above God. We've stated that many, many times before. But what is far more important is that contraception is not against the law of God. And this is what matters. It's against the law of the Roman Catholic Church, but certainly not the law of God. Well, this is freedom-giving information to many millions of Roman Catholic women who are forced to live a lie that sex is only for procreation. It's not based on the Bible. You know, so what happens is the married couples practice contraception, but this, according to the Roman Catholic Church, is sin. So they then have to go to confession and tell the priest that they have sinned. They have had sex and used contraception. And then the priest will say, well, you know, I forgive you, my child. Now go and say 3 Hail Marys and Our Father. And that's how it goes until the next time around. It is no wonder that so many people are sick and having to take antidepressants. They're walking around with a continuous guilt feeling. You see, if sex was only about having children, we would not find the following scriptures in the Bible. And these are scriptures that are clear and precise, and they do not need any further clarification. Proverbs 5:17. Let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee. And then the verses start. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. So we are told that when we are young, when we are old as well, but when we are young here, rejoice with the wife of your youth. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. So it didn't say just when you're going to try and have children. It says all times. Proverbs 5:20. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? You see, if you are not having a relationship with your wife, the end result is what will happen in verse 20. It says, why will you be ravished with a strange woman and embrace the bosom of a stranger? That's not what God planned. You see, sometimes we have the situation that sex is used as a weapon. We hear the argument with abortion that women have the right to control their bodies. Men also think they have the right to control their bodies and any other bodies they come in contact with as well. Now I'm going to show you that this is not what it's all about at all. And we're looking at 1 Corinthians chapter 7, and you'll see this has absolutely nothing to do with having children. 1 Corinthians 7 verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Paul has given his feelings on this matter, which he's entitled to do. Verse 2, 1 Corinthians 7. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. That mirrors just what we said in Proverbs. Verse 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband. And the husband likewise also, the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife. So that God is saying, you know, we should compromise with each other, because you mightn't be feeling this, you mightn't be feeling that, but nonetheless, It says in verse 5, defraud ye not the other, except it be with consent for a time. It's saying, do not withhold sex from your partner, except it be with the consent of the partner. And this should only be for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. But I speak this by permission, and not of commandment. You know, as I said, we have this idea that we have the total control over our bodies and we can do what we like. We cannot. You know, I mentioned this about tattoos in a previous, very, very previous video. We think we could mark up our bodies and shove bits of metal through it as we like. We can't. Leviticus 19:28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. So you see, the eternal God has given very, very strict guidelines on how we should treat our own bodies, the bodies of our partners, and the bodies of our neighbors and our brothers. We have been told what we should do in many, many situations. We have been told what we should eat. We have been told how we should rest. We have even been told when we can and cannot have sex. Leviticus 15 brings this out. It says in the time of menstruation, you should not be having sex. It's there. You know, I just mentioned in passing that recently somebody who's come out of Babylon picked up the fact that they shouldn't eat everything that is, as one person said, if it has four legs and it's not a table, we'll eat it. That's what the Chinese said. And if it flies and it's not a plane, we will eat it. Well, that's not what God says. But this person paid attention to the fact that he shouldn't be eating pork, bullocks, and fat. And he said to me, you know what? My irritable bowel syndrome has completely gone away. Of course, God is telling us what we wouldn't know ourselves. He designed the body, so he must know what he's speaking about. Now, the latest abortion figures for the United Kingdom in 2006 were 200,000 abortions per year. Those are the official figures, but we are at 2008, so we can be sure that these figures, which just continually keep going up, are much greater than this. Now that's a lot of people. That's twice as many people that can fill the new Wembley soccer stadium. That's a lot of people.